What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash, BCH USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. Here we are. It's the third day. We're dragging D's, you know what's, all over the basement apparently because we're not bouncing at all. You know, Bitcoin Cash, you guys, has been outperforming Bitcoin and basically every altcoin. It's literally the top performing coin, if not one of the top performing coins in the top 100 over the past year. The reason for that isn't because of how much it pumped; it's because of how little it has dumped, and also held up well. Bitcoin was pumping yesterday, and the fact that one of the top performing coins, if not the top performing coin in the top 100 over the past year, wasn't pumping with it, that made me think that this was a farce and that we would come down. And well, here we are coming down. Bitcoin Cash at this area where we have found support consistently. And again, what I'm not saying there is that Bitcoin or that the crypto markets are following Bitcoin Cash. I'm just saying if one of your top performing coins is not performing well, that makes me think that any bounce that we're seeing might be false, right? That's just, and it wouldn't just be Bitcoin Cash. That could apply to anything if they were top performing as well. I wouldn't call this a quadruple bottom because this low is a little bit lower. So we really could from here establish some type of a double bottom. But again, we need a proper reaction, guys. We need a very proper reaction. It's very unfortunate that this is all played out, but I think with the Iran conflict that's going on, the tactical strikes, whatever, the war, if you want to call it a war, the regime change war, whatever, the whatever it is. I'm not trying to get into the politics of it. I think that there was some selling off in advance because of that. People knew it was coming. Insiders knew it was coming. People who were paying attention knew it was coming. Um, and I think we sold off. Right, we're just not in the right conditions for things to pump right now. That doesn't mean that we're going to dump, but again, I still expect that March this month will provide the right conditions to pump. But just up here, it wasn't that case. Here we are down here. We're at this double bottom kind of dynamic. I want to see us find support here. I want to see us have a move. It doesn't have to be as robust as this, but if it was more robust, that'd be exciting. Even if it took this took one day, if this took 5 days, but it still gave us an overall greater pump. We got above these highs specifically. That would be awesome. But what we need is to see some type of double bottom, or at the very worst, a slightly lower low fake out like what we had here, right? Like this low. That low is just barely below these lows. If we see something like that, that's okay. But if we go too much lower, if we go below about $415, we're in trouble. We're at $434 right now. We can't afford to drop too much more. Okay. We look at these indicators here on the daily time frame. I am going to make this video quick. Let's actually look at it on the 1 hour. The 1 hour RSI, stochastics, MACD, they're all bearish. I hope it's obvious as to why. Rejecting the zero, building momentum down. Stochastics are oversold. RSI is not getting overbought, but you have no problem being oversold. 4 hour time frame, it's the same story there, right? In fact, we're actually getting higher highs in the RSI with lower highs in the price. Hidden bearish divergence. The stochastics are bearish. The MACD is bearish overall. I do think that here you can see a softening. You see it softening, right? This little curve. And I'm not necessarily expecting that we see a lower low. I've had ample opportunities to say we're going to see a lower low than this, and I have still been very reluctant and cautious to say that. But I do accept it. You know, the fact that Bitcoin Cash didn't pump at all yesterday, if we pumped a little bit while Bitcoin pumped, and then I'm calling for Bitcoin to see a lower low now, maybe Bitcoin Cash could provide a higher low. But the fact that we're so near these lows, I think it's just time to call a spade a spade. It is completely possible that we do see a slightly lower low. But again, it has to be just slight. The reason why it has to be slight, guys, is we do not want to break back below this blessed line. We do not. Okay. I'm actually curious, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go on the daily time frame and I'm going to connect these dots. Hold on. Come on now. Let's get it all the way up to there. And then I'm going to go all the way back here and make sure that this one's on the right as well. Because when it's on the monthly time frame, do you see how they were a little bit off? That's because it goes back to the beginning of the month for those points. So anyways, if that doesn't make any sense to you, don't worry about it. It doesn't have to. Just understand that I connected the dots to both of those highs, the two highest prices we had in Bitcoin's existence, as far as like highs go, high points go. And I'm going to extend the right line there. And then we're going to base this off of this line here. So you can see resistance, resistance. Now we're finding support. We do not want to go below this line. You can see how close we are to it, right? We did go a little bit below it here. that's kind of encouraging. I think it's kind of encouraging because it shows that, okay, we can go below it, but you know what we didn't do? We did not close below it. So we did not close. I guess we even closed a little bit below it, but that doesn't really count, right? We basically closed right at it. We don't want to close below 415. If we go a little bit below there, I'm going to be crapping my pants a little bit. You'll probably be crapping them too, but as long as we're closing above there, I'm okay with that. If we get 2 days in a row to close below it, then we're in trouble. That's not what we want. So it is a possibility. It's something that we've accepted as a possibility and that we're addressing as a possibility now. If we break through this line, then this whole idea that we're going to break out of this consolidation phase to the upside, it goes out the window. That doesn't mean that we're breaking out of this consolidation phase to the downside. That doesn't mean Bitcoin Cash is going to zero. But now what that means is we are no longer in this consolidation phase. We are in this consolidation phase, and we are probably making our way to another low end in this consolidation phase. And that could be our bear market low, quote unquote. Maybe Bitcoin's in a bear market, so Bitcoin Cash is in a bear market too. And that goes against the theory that I've had. But again, all of that becomes a reality if we close below like 415 effectively. Okay, and the way I have that drawn is as if it would happen here. We could bounce. It could be some other time, and then maybe instead of 415, it's 405, right? It doesn't have to be pinpoint 415, but for all intents and purposes, I think that's a very appropriate area to keep an eye on for now. Maybe even 416. I am expecting the beginning of March to provide red candles, and then I'm expecting the middle and end of March to provide green candles. I think that will move up, and I think that it'll be much more robust than this. And then going into April, we should see some recovery as well. Looking at the daily time frame, bearish, 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 all bearish. The MACD typically looks its worst whenever you're at the lows, and you look pretty bad right now. You look like you're at your worst. The histogram here is at the lowest that it's been throughout this whole range. Right, the last time it was this low, we found a low. You don't typically go lower than this. Your oscillators are pretty damn low. Your RSI is pretty low. We haven't seen lows lower than this since February of 2025, over a year ago. We haven't been this low in the RSI. Like, or, I guess it's not true. I'm sorry. We were actually just this low back in February here, but we haven't been lower than these lows. So if we were to drop here, maybe we go a little bit lower than these lows. Is the thought there? All I'm trying to say is I think Bitcoin Cash moves a little bit more to the downside. Does that mean that we see a lower low? Not necessarily, no. We are rounding off a little bit. We are dying off in volume a little bit. What I would hate to see is that we go somewhere notably below 415 and the volume increases. The volume is like significantly increasing. I would hate to see this kind of dynamic with that. That would be very bad. We don't want that. We want this slowly moving down. You move down aggressively at first, a lot of selling, and now there's no selling, right? We want to see this. We want to see this turn around, and we want to see rapid recovery. That's what we want to see, just like we had last time. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but the bigger the better, right? Anyways, I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you're the call is we are at a low point. It's a good time to buy. We probably go a little bit lower. Does that mean we see a lower low? Maybe, maybe not. I'm expecting that March is going to be a good month, and I'm actually expecting that we will return to these prices, if not above these prices, by the end of the month. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.